Now that you're all grown up, it's time you knew the truth about the first kids network. Welcome to MsMojo, and today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 facts about Nickelodeon that will ruin your childhood. For this list, we'll be looking at Nickelodeon's scandals, controversies, and dark secrets that'll hit you like a bucket of slime. Number 10. Rocko's pulled episodes. It's amazing how many mature jokes this Nicktoon got away with. Namely that one time Rocko was hired as a specialty phone operator.
Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. Rocko? Mrs. Bighead?
The censors didn't always give the writers a free pass, however. After airing twice, the season 1 episode Leapfrogs was banned from the network, but later resurfaced on DVD and Netflix. When Ed fails to satisfy Mrs. Bighead's needs, Bev attempts to seduce Rocko.
Would you zip me up, darling? Oh, that tickles.
This culminates in a prostitution joke where Ed catches Bev giving Rocko money and a kiss.
Mr. Bighead, it's not what you think. I was, and she, but I, and, you know.
The big heads patch things up, though, by breaking out the plates. Another episode that got pulled was Hef in a Handbasket, in which Heifer sells his soul to the devil.
Underworld Studios? At midnight? Okay, goodbye!
Yet Nick didn't mind another episode where Heifer goes to heck. Number 9. Legend of the Impossible Temple.
On your mark, get set, go!
Legends of the Hidden Temple made 90s kids feel like they were living out one of Indiana Jones's adventures, and every episode built to the heart-racing temple run. Contestants were given 3 minutes to find the artifact, all while navigating through 12 rooms and avoiding temple guards. As cool and creative as it looked, how many times did somebody actually make it through the temple? Out of the show's 120 episodes, there were only 32 victories.
Got the cannonball, you did it! You're gonna get all the prizes! You're gonna take the telescope, you're gonna take everything, you're going to the Bahamas!
Looking back years later, a red jaguar named Keely Garza recalled that the experience sucked.
You go through it and come back, and I don't know if you've ever been in some sort of an athletic thing where you feel like, you feel like your lungs are gonna explode. That's how you feel, and you don't know it until you get back.
Host Kirk Fogg revealed that the game was purposely made difficult because, quote, the producers were only allowed to give out 8 championships a year. There was a budget, and that's the truth of that. Number 8. No guts, no glory, no trophy.
Do you have it? Do you have it? Guts!
Even if you weren't the most athletic kid growing up, we all wanted to be a contestant on Nickelodeon Guts. Who didn't dream about climbing the Aggro Crag, later renamed the Mega Crag.
We're very hot right now for this Aggro Crag. Now, anything can happen on this mountain as they climb up the mountain. They can run into slime floods, rock avalanches, snowstorms. They must hit a bunch of different actuators on the way up.
Anyone who dominated this monstrous mountain got to hold a piece of the Aggro Crag. It was an awesome trophy that glowed in the dark, putting the Commissioner's Trophy and Stanley Cup to shame.
We're gonna sandblast your name into the middle of that, Robert. Hold it up and show America that.
In reality, though, winners didn't get to take this radical rock home. Instead, they had to give it back once the episode was over. Winners could reportedly receive a miniature replica of the trophy, but we all know that's not the same. If you really want an authentic Aggro Crag trophy, one sold on eBay for $1,499. Number 7. Angelique Bates' time on All That. Best remembered for her dead-on Steve Urkel impression and starring alongside Kenan Thompson on It's Cooking with Randy and Mandy, Angelique Bates was among the first All That cast members.
We recommend chocolate in the syrup form because it blends well with those eggs.
Although Bates always brought the funny on screen, her life behind the scenes was no laughing matter. Bates revealed in 2016 that she was physically and mentally tormented by her mother during her time on the sketch comedy series.
I was physically, mentally, emotionally abused in front of the producers and cast members, and sometimes they could even hear me yelling.
This abuse was no secret to the show's producers, who allegedly told the 12-year-old Bates to remain silent. Child Protective Services were alerted in 1996, but even then, Bates was pressured not to rock the boat. Once her contract was up, Bates chose to bow out from All That, making her the first series regular to exit.
One thing about the industry is when you're on, you're on. Everyone loves you. But the minute that you're not on,
everyone forgets you. And when you're a kid, it's really hard.
Number 6. Miriam Pataki's smoothies.
Hiya, Mom. Would you say you and me mix up a batch of smoothies?
Oh, I still feel like a smoothie, Helga. Not while your sister's still up there in her room all depressed.
It's no wonder why Helga had such a bad attitude on Hey Arnold. Not only did she live in her older sister's shadow, but her father was a blowhard and her mother was always moping around. When Miriam wasn't completely out of it, she could usually be found preparing a blended drink. Most children probably didn't pick up on it at the time, but Miriam's smoothies weren't the kind you'd find at Jamba Juice.
Pass the Tabasco, dear.
While never directly mentioned on the show, it's been confirmed that Miriam is an alcoholic who's clearly suffering with emotional issues. In retrospect, Miriam's forgetful nature, slow speech pattern, and strong attachment to that blender makes so much sense.
Yeesh. What a nut job.
I need a smoothie.
Number 5. Wacky Jackie. Those uptight grown-ups may have found it disgusting and gross, but that's precisely why every kid wanted Gak back in the 90s.
You can pull it. Make Gak sounds.
How rude.
With its gooey texture and ability to make fart noises, Gak naturally became one of Nickelodeon's hottest items. If you asked somebody on the street where you could score some Gak, however, you might get an unexpected response. On the Nickelodeon game show Double Dare, host Mark Summers and various crew members would call the green slime Gak.
Reach in either nostril, way up there and find that flag. Doggy Door's coming next.
Nickelodeon apparently liked the name so much that they used it for this slimy toy. What the higher-ups didn't realize was that Gak is actually street slang for heroin.
Are you feeling it? Nickelodeon Gak. I know you're feeling it.
Suddenly, all of those seemingly innocent commercials seem more like something out of Requiem for a Dream.
You don't understand. Please, I'll explain.
Number 4. The Boris Kropotkin controversy. Many of us grew up watching Christmas and Easter specials, but Jewish holidays were rarely touched upon.
Well, somehow they just don't seem like pancakes.
They're potato pancakes, Charles, and we fry these and sometimes donuts to remind us of the oil used in the miracle of Hanukkah.
The miracle is these things have clogged our people's arteries for 2,000 years, yet we survive.
Rugrats stood out as one of the few children's shows that shined a spotlight on Judaism. The Nicktoon was generally praised for its representation of the Jewish faith, even receiving a Primetime Emmy nomination for its Passover episode.
Hey, Moses, your doorway had some kind of big red smudge on it. But don't worry, I cleaned it up for you.
However, when Grandpa Boris appeared in a 1998 Rugrats print comic strip, reciting the mourner's Kaddish, the Anti-Defamation League called it anti-Semitic. The Washington Post, which published the comic, addressed this in the editor's note, writing, quote, "The depiction of Jewish worshippers and the use of Kaddish were inappropriate." Nickelodeon president Herb Scannell also apologized for the strip, although his predecessor, Albie Hecht, himself Jewish, felt the backlash was overblown.
Look, Tommy, the baby and your grandpa Boris are playing nice. I know, Chucky. It's a miracle.
Number 3. Dora takes Nick to court. Being directed at a preschool demographic, you wouldn't expect Dora the Explorer to ignite so much controversy.
Let's stop and think.
On more than one occasion, though, the Nick Jr. icon has gone to some grown-up places. Parents and psychologists weren't pleased when Dora received a preteen beauty treatment, arguing that her redesign was too thin and sexualized. Even Caitlin Sanchez, who regularly voiced Dora from 2008 to 2012, has had a rocky history with Nickelodeon. Sanchez and her family felt that Nick cheated her out of millions in royalties, merchandise, and other services. Sanchez's family was eventually driven to sue the company in 2010, although the lawsuit was ultimately dropped.
I bet the big red chicken will come. Will you do the chicken dance with me? Can you flap your arms? Flap your arms.
Number 2. A very loud scandal. Chris Savino was a Nickelodeon veteran, working on Ren and Stimpy, Rocko's Modern Life, Hey Arnold, The Angry Beavers, and My Life as a Teenage Robot. Savino most notably created The Loud House, which quickly took off as one of Nickelodeon's biggest hits after premiering in 2016.
The process of getting the show picked up was a fast one by comparison. Some shows take 2 to 4 years from pitch all the way through to actually getting the show on the air.
In 2017, Savino was accused of sexual harassment, and this behavior had allegedly been going on for at least a decade.
Oh. Sorry, buddy. Our bad.
Well, at least you gave it a shot. Some ice for that shiner.
X-ray machine?
Savino was subsequently terminated from Nick and received a 1-year suspension at the Animation Guild. The Loud House is still going strong, with Michael Rubiner now acting as the showrunner. While Savino has said that he's deeply sorry and ashamed, it's unlikely he'll ever be welcomed into the Loud House again.
It was a really selfish thing to do. We all need to support each other. I'm really sorry.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Dan Schneider's Exit. From All That to The Amanda Show to Drake and Josh to iCarly to Victorious, Dan Schneider created some of the most successful sitcoms in the history of Nickelodeon. After Schneider accepted a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2014 Kids' Choice Awards, it appeared more great things awaited on the horizon for their partnership. This made it all the more shocking when Nickelodeon and Schneider cut ties in 2018. The split was due to Schneider's alleged actions behind the scenes over the years. Schneider reportedly had a history of well-documented temper issues, with multiple complaints of abusive behavior. Schneider also faced criticism for posting photos of young actresses' feet on Twitter. The Schneider's bakery logo was even removed from Henry Danger, which concluded in 2020. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.